Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 3. Today is about meal planning, and today is probably one of our most important topics. You've probably heard it said that weight loss and just overall health is 80% nutrition and 20% fitness. This is why today is key. Planning is going to be your best friend, and we want you to plan for success. You may have also heard people say, fail to plan, plan to fail. Doesn't sound very positive, but there's a lot of truth in it. If we plan out our meals, if we know what we're planning to eat and we shop for that, then we're much more likely to stick to those choices and to actually find that we can be content with them. So I want to just tell you up front that sometimes this process, depending on if this is natural and normal for you, it can be overwhelming. As you learn a new system and a new way of thinking about things, it feels like a lot at first. I will tell you that every single challenger, and I've had a lot, that has really worked to get to know it, within a few days, they find that it is becoming second nature. Within a week, the planning process is that much easier. And so for most of you who are doing the 21-day fix, and the rest of you who are, if you're doing another program, either way, the information that I talk about today is going to help set you up to be successful. So the first thing to know and to be thinking about is your water intake. I already talked about that a little bit on Monday. But make sure that you're thinking about getting in half your body weight in ounces. For me, I have 5 different water bottles. Here are 2 of them in different colors. When I actually do what I should, which is fill them up at the beginning of the day and then work my way through them, I'm much more likely to be successful and drink the water that I need. A couple other tips, some people, myself included, even though these don't have straws, I drink more when I drink out of a straw. So that's also maybe an idea. Put some lemon in it, put other things that make it tasty but don't add calories or artificial sweeteners. Your first task, other than your water, is to clean out your pantry. I think I mentioned this on Monday as well. But what are your weaknesses? What are the things around your house that you're tempted to go to when you're hungry, when you're tired, when you just feel like snacking, when you're bored? Get rid of it. Don't just eat it all to get rid of it. Throw it away, give it to somebody else, but get it out of your house. It is really important that those things don't exist in your house. When we are working to create new habits, if you put obstacles in your way, you're less likely to be successful. So be a friend to yourself and get those things out of your house. Those might not be the most obvious things, like a bag of chips, though it's not good for you, so get it out of your house. But know what your triggers are and what the things are that you might be tempted to run to. So if you take your fitness and your nutrition and you're working towards both of them, you will see results. You may even you will feel results as well. For some of you, it may be more obvious in what you're feeling. For a lot of you, you're going to be seeing weight loss results and being more toned. So this may be a tough transition for some of you if you're really turning around the way that you eat. But I want to encourage you, you can do this for 21 days. And if you do, you will find that many, if not all of the habits will continue and you will continue to make progress. This may mean for 3 weeks you are passing up some things like maybe a dinner date out or something like that. It doesn't mean you can never do these things again. It doesn't even mean you can't do them during these 3 weeks. But while you're kind of learning and getting yourself used to these types of things, you may choose to not put yourself in a situation where you're going to be tempted. But what I will also tell you is that there's some great freedom to be had when you realize that you can go to a restaurant and you can order something that's actually pretty good for you, and you can be really satisfied and enjoy yourself. Or maybe you can order something and not eat all of it. Or maybe you can share a beer with your husband. Doesn't mean you can't ever have one, but those are just some things to think about. So we're going to become artificial ingredient aware, sugar aware, all of those kinds of things. The things that are not great for our bodies. And as you are working through this, no matter what program you're doing, Beachbody Programs adhere to the idea of clean eating. Whole foods. If you look at a box or you look a box might be your first indication that it's not your best choice. But if you look at a list of ingredients and you see all sorts of things that you can't pronounce, and there are more than 5 ingredients, that may be an indication that it's something to stay away from. When you're going to the grocery store, you're going to find that you're sticking to the perimeter of the grocery store. Think about your grocery store. We've got our produces and our dairy and our frozen foods, and a lot of that stuff is around the edges, and that's where we're going to stick most of the time. So when you get your materials, I want you to read through it cover to cover. Start to write down questions, think about ideas and all that kind of stuff. It may be 21 Day Fix, it may be something else, but get to know your program. The better you get to know it, the more comfortable you're going to feel. All of you, if you're doing a program, there's going to be a formula of some sort, most likely, that you're going to figure out with your weight and finding out kind of how much should I be eating. This is really important. Just a side note, if you happen to be a nursing mother, you want to kick yourself up to a higher bracket. Probably 1 is enough. You may find that you need to do 2 higher. From there, if you're doing 21 Day Fix, you're then going to proceed to page 19, which has your it's going to tell you what bracket you're in and how many containers you get of each. So say I'm in the 2nd bracket, and that means I get 4 containers of the green veggies, 3 of fruit, 4 of lean proteins, and so on and so forth. Going from there, there are lists, and there's more stuff in here that I'm skipping over that you can read through. Lists of foods. First thing to do, go through and circle the ones that you love, that you like to eat, that are common for you, or maybe that you'd like to use this time to try. And then you start to meal plan. Your assignment is going to be to plan up front for the first week or so, maybe 5 days or something like that. But in the back, there are these tally sheets. This system may work for you, it may not. A lot of people that I've had have created their own spreadsheets that work best for them. But from this, you can fill in your numbers up here, and then start with what you know. And again, even if you're not doing this program, maybe start with the things that are not going to change in your day. For me, most of the time when I'm getting my workout in first thing in the morning, I want to begin with my Shakeology because it's refreshing. It's a fabulous way to start my day. In the beginning, I found it really odd to hold my black coffee in one hand and my Shakeology in the other hand, but actually now I kind of love that combination. Sometimes I mix them together. But so I know right away a scoop of Shakeology is a serving of lean protein. So I'm going to write that in there. You could do check marks. I like to actually write the food so I can see it. Then I often put a serving of fruit. So under the purple, half a banana is 1 purple. So I might write that in there. And I always like peanut butter in my Shakeology, all natural peanut butter. And so maybe 1 teaspoon of peanut butter. You might be someone who packs your lunch for work, and so that's going to be pretty consistent. Let me encourage you, if you're that person, put in the investment of time the weekend before and prep things ahead so that you don't have to do that throughout the week and you can just grab and go. You're much more likely to be successful. But put in those things, or maybe okay, this night for dinner, I'm going to be at my small group or something, and I know that they're having pasta, so I'm going to put that under my yellow, something like that, so that you can plan. There are going to be some things that you can't plan for, and you just do the best that you can, and you think about having appropriate portions at that time. So from here, you make your plan. You might find that the first week, there's not a lot of variation. You're eating a lot of the same things. That's okay. Do what you need to do and what's going to help you to be successful. I will assure you, you can do this and have a family. And I will also challenge you, if the food is not good for you to eat, and if it is processed, then surely it's also not good for our families and for our kids. So if you have kids, my kids love to eat cheese sticks. That's an okay snack. Things, fruit, yogurt, those types of things. Find ways. Homemade granola bars are not hard and they're really quite tasty. So find healthy ways to also feed your family. Think of it as a challenge. The thing that you're going to be finding is that you need to be eating every 2 to 3 hours probably. What most people find is that they space out their meals. Not most people, but a lot of people, they have large gaps between meals, then they overeat, or they get really, really kind of hangry. I get hangry if I don't eat as often as I should. We need to learn to see food as fuel and recognize that if we're fueling our bodies with the right things, then we are going to be that more energized. We're going to feel that much better about ourselves, and we're going to see better progress. One little tip: space out your protein. Lean protein is the key, I think, and what I've found is to staying full and staying satisfied. Afternoon's a hard time for me, especially mid to late afternoon before dinner. So maybe like that half hour before I start to prep dinner, great lean protein, plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Add some fruit in, maybe a little drizzle of honey just to give it a little extra sweetness or something. But plan out your protein. Hard-boiled eggs, great source of protein. You get 2 in 1 serving. Sometimes I put 1 with my morning snack and 1 in my afternoon. You'll find after a few days that you realize what you need. So there are going to be a bunch of documents that I'm going to upload to the group. These are going to help you to plan. There's some tips, personal tips from me. There is Michi's Ladder, which is going to help you know what foods are really best for you, along with a sample meal plan and some other things. Use those as tools for you. Excuse me. So your assignment, plan the first 5 to 7 days, starting next Monday. Again, this might seem overwhelming, but plan that out. Start small and start to work out from there. Ask questions. Decide when you're going to grocery shop. Make that list, and we are here for you. The closer you stick to your coach and to this group, chances are the more successful that you are going to be. We have, your coaches have done this type of thing before. Most of us have done the 21-day fix, and this program is amazing. It is so helpful, and if you're not doing 21-day fix and you're doing another program, they are set up to help you succeed, and we have tools that we can share with you. So stick close to us, and happy meal planning.